Hello friends, welcome to episode 2 of Worship on Wheels. Hope you had a good week this week, man. It's been a crazy week, hasn't it? Man, as we start getting closer to Christmas and everybody's buying stuff and the world is chaotic. You know, all the things that are going on in the world, whether it be, you know, health related of society or politics or all of that sort of thing, the world just gets kind of crazy, man. It'll start spinning on you if you let it. And when I say spinning, I don't mean just rotating on its axis. I mean spinning out of control. And then when that starts happening, you know what we start doing? Oh yeah, we start griping, we start complaining. That's what we do. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is complaining. It's funny this week, you know, when we talk about complaining, I had a conversation with my daughter yesterday. We're talking about life and what we're grateful for and that sort of thing. And one of the things I'm really grateful for, one of the many things I'm really grateful for, is my family and the ability to be with them and love them. And at this time of year, my oldest son, he's in California, as you know, and lockdowns out there, and we can't really see him, and all of that stuff's going on. We got a grandbaby being born out there, and we miss him. We love them, and it's easy to just grumble and complain. You know, Philippians 2:14 tells me, it says, Coach Bob, you should do all things without grumbling and complaining or whining and pouting, that sort of thing. You know, it's amazing how much we complain in this world and how we take the things that are blessings and make them cursings. You know, I came to this realization a long time ago, and as I was talking to my daughter, like I said, it was one of those things that we do that, right? We have like something like this beautiful Can-Am Spider, right? We love it, right? It's fun to ride. We get outside and then we complain, man, I gotta buy a tire for it, man, such a pain. Or you know, it's just not running right. And we complain and we gripe and we get upset. And we forget to just appreciate that what we have is really nice, and that we know that the price of admission of having something is the responsibility of owning it. We do that with people in our lives too. You look at your children, you'll go, man, I love my children, they're so beautiful. And then in the next breath, they're a pain in the neck, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Now, granted, sometimes they are a pain in the neck, and you're not going to know what to do. But that's okay. It's okay, because what that means is that they're normal, and you are too. But we shouldn't complain. Have you ever been around that guy, that one guy that just all he does is just gripe and whine? It's unbelievable. You know, I had an employee years ago. This dude, I mean, it was everything. It was absolutely everything. I hate this and I hate that, and the FAA, they're jerks. But I would tell him, one day you're going to look back at all this and you're going to realize that you squandered 2 decades of your life coming into work and being miserable, because your job is a great job and what you do is very important. It's essential to the safety and security of this country. Every time you vector an airplane, people's lives are in your hand. And you should be grateful for that. You have a gift. You're talented. But he never saw it until after he retired. And then one day we were having a conversation, and he said, man, you were right. You were right. I wasted a lot of time, Bob. I wasted a lot of time. You know, people didn't want to be around him. They just didn't want to be around him. Even the guys that liked him. They'd be like, don't put me with him more than 30 minutes today. I don't want to work by that guy. All he does is gripe. Who can blame him? So his complaining, what did it manifest? More complaining. And that's what happens. The more miserable you are and the more you talk about it, the more miserable you make others around you, and it spreads. You know, if we could truly do all things without grumbling and really look for the blessing in all of the things in our lives would be a lot more positive, a lot happier. I'm not going to say they would necessarily be a lot easier. You know, life is hard, and there's nothing wrong with recognizing that. You know, whether it be debilitating illnesses or injuries or whatever, you know. Those things happen. We're all going to be faced with tragedy. Jesus said, don't worry about yesterday, don't worry about tomorrow. He said today has enough evil of its own. And it does. And complaining about it is not going to change it. So what do we do? Now that we know that complaining, and I think we knew that anyway, our mom always told us, boy, if you don't have anything nice to say, or girl, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I certainly heard that my whole life. So we should live our lives without complaining and grumbling about everything. The guy that pulled out in front of us delayed us 30 seconds. Man, I was delayed 30 seconds. I am not going to lie though, I do it. And I know I'm wrong. We all have to try to do a better job with that. What should we do when the trials come? Well, in the book of 1 Peter, it tells us we should rejoice. We should actually rejoice when trials come. You know, we really should. Because through rejoicing, it will just level us off. Because as we try to be positive, in times of travail, sometimes being the most positive that we can is just barely surviving. I do know this, that every time in my life I've locked myself in a room and laid there for 3 days in the dark, it didn't gain me much. All it did was take 3 days of my life. And what I was down about, what good could I have done had I simply gone to the other people in my life that were really suffering because of the things that I was down about? So I'm going to leave you with this. What kind of person are you? Are you a complainer? Are you a whiner? Do you gripe every time something happens? Or do you look at life as exciting and adventure and joy? I pray that you're happy and you're loving life, and that even in the face of tragedy, that you can still smile and know that you too are loved. Well, there you have it. Another Worship on Wheels done and over with. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and share this with your friends that need encouragement, because we all do in this crazy, crazy world and all the things that we're dealing with. So take care of those others around you and lift as you climb, because we have a mission, and you know what it is. You're going to do it right now. You're going to go change the world. We'll see you next week. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day. Woo.